Mental health service enters new grounds. New Ireland eyes eviction of settlers. And Medeng Hospital scales down operation.
This is National EMTV News with Dennis Orere.
Welcome, this is Monday's news. The Directorate for Social Change and Mental Health Services is breaking new ground as they implement their short-term strategy to bring about e-mental health services. Through their recent partnership with Theodist Limited, it ensures that the country's mental health policy is implemented. And also, the Directorate is able to reach out to their health workers in the different provinces.
This partnership between Theodist and the Directorate for Social Change and Mental Health Services will now enable the Directorate to give e-mental health services without having to fly to the specific province. Theodist assists with technical help, and this enables the Directorate to connect with their health workers in the different provinces.
We had our shortcomings and issues to reach the people, and we created the e-mental health. That means we can continue to provide services, we can do training to the mental health nurses, and also we can seek consultancy, especially like you are going to a province, provincial visits we can do.
The first e-mental health meeting was held last month, where all the regions were present online to give an update on what was happening in their provinces. The Logitech conference system was one that made it possible for this e-mental health service. Theodist CEO Kumar Balia explains.
In the COVID times when it's difficult to get on a plane and go anywhere, this tends to be a more effective way to do things. It also is a more cost-efficient way to do things. So as part of our business model, we've been building the technology part of our business quite strongly, and video conferencing we found has started to gain quite a lot of traction in PNG.
Mental health is very important, and it includes one's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Mr. Balia says with the rise in COVID cases in the country, the e-mental health service is vital.
It's very important to us, and supporting e-mental health and supporting the mental health directorate has been quite important for us to make sure that we can get the message out there. Because if people have good well-being, mental well-being, they can contribute positively to the society, to their families, to the community, and also to the economy.
The Directorate's hotline service is also now active and can be reached on 7907-4944.
The country, different provinces, to bring them all so that we all stand together in terms of providing services and also get the knowledge, and also will support each other to go through surface this period.
Lilian Sopera Kenea, National EMTV News.
New Ireland provincial government is embarking to enforce its Vagrancy Act. Governor Sir Julius Chen says those encroaching on people's land will be removed. He has also called on New Irelanders to register their land to avoid settlers.
The once peaceful and friendly place is seeing a drastic change in the community. With many flocking and settling in New Ireland, Governor Sir Julius Chen is worried with the influx of people. He believes the Vagrancy Act must be enforced.
What I say, I mean it. And when I do things, I intend to bring it to the end. The number one, something through me took too long. Enforce vagrancy law without discrimination. It means very clear. All get the squatter, illegal squatters, or people in what ground, they sit down nothing on ground long. Man, you got title on end, out.
With the New Ireland Provincial Assembly pushing this legislation, Governor Chen says land is now a scarce resource. He also encouraged locals to register the land. The New Ireland governor says people must not settle without any authority or rightful means.
We told them we are now at war. We play goal on war now here. We are at war with the criminals. Nothing. Those days are over. You have already waken up the sleeping dog, the sleeping tiger, and it's going to bite you. Me no got intention or give him 1 inch for all those criminals to escape. We will get them.
The push to enforce the Vagrancy Act comes as law and order issues become rife in the province. Governor Chen says crime has soared because of many reasons. He says authorities will collaborate to end criminal elements.
You must be in law, on ground, on money got title is their land. You know a title, you cannot just encroach on the land. So that's why me like Bayumi all get clear. Just like suppose you got ground finished, you got title finished from hand, you know what money can clap him ground on you. So we have to be fair.
Jack Lapava Jr., National EMTV News.
Central Governor Robert Agarobe has assured people from Guinea-Golo village that authorities will ensure police investigation will progress and justice is served. Speaking at Gaire village following the alleged killing of a 28-year-old man by police, Agarobe says all legal fees will be taken care of by the provincial government. Governor Agarobe says he will not interfere with police work, but will ensure those responsible will be held accountable.
I can't interfere in investigation. This you should understand. But my presence will be there all the time with the commander, making sure that we fast track this investigation and we sort this thing out. Compensation is a difficult one, but you have a right to take the state to court, and for that, the provincial government will pay for the legal costs. So that I can assure it, but I can't give compensation because it will set a precedent.
So our CID from Buroko are taking charge of the case, not CID Central. CID from Buroko might is in case. What the internal affairs, no black, our internal affairs, they are also investigating complaints against police. So they also taking part as well to oversight to make sure that the investigation is done transparently. So the relatives, you have all the right to go come to him CID to make sure case and run good.
You're watching National EMTV News. More stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Papua New Guinea has recorded 6 new COVID-19 deaths in the last 48 hours, increasing the country's total number of COVID-19 related deaths to 45. The 6 new deaths were all recorded in the National Capital District. 4 males and 2 females, ages ranging from 28 to 73 years, were admitted to the intensive care unit until their death. The country's total COVID-19 cases as a result stands at 5,184 with 45 known deaths. 20 provinces, including the autonomous region of Bougainville, have reported cases. The Medeng Provincial Hospital is scaling down services at both the emergency and outpatient departments effective today. CEO Fidelis Waimpa says the hospital will only take in critically ill patients who need care. The hospital scaled down after 10 of its staff and healthcare workers tested positive for coronavirus.
Effective today, the Madang Provincial Hospital outpatient functions will be relocated to Jomba Urban Clinic and Medeng Town Urban Clinic. Additional nursing staff will also be sent to the 2 clinics to man all services. The relocation of the service was due to the hospital scaling down its services at the outpatient and emergency departments.
And that is necessary for us to do that.
Those who are very sick with flu or eye fever or similar symptoms are advised to consult the COVID triaging center at the Medeng Hospital entrance. An antigen rapid diagnostic test will be conducted to establish status of visiting patients.
We encourage all the public to adhere to new normal.
The hospital will only have one entrance gate, and everyone entering the hospital will undergo temperature checks at the Triad Center. It is also compulsory for all persons to wear face masks to have access to the hospital, and washing of hands is also required. Social distancing within the hospital premises as well as public places is also important.
Enforcing the preventative measures.
Patients should have one guardian to assist during consultation or on admission, while emergency cars must have the driver and 2 persons to assist with the emergency. People with flu-like symptoms are advised to contact the COVID-19 incident manager, Dr. Martin Diamond or Dr. Jude Gawi. Martha Louise, National EMTV News, Medeng.
A total of 27 health staff of Mount Hagen General Hospital have contracted coronavirus. This, including the financial constraints of the hospital, has forced some of its services to close or scale down. Western Highlands Provincial COVID-19 Task Force Committee Chairman Stanley Mipe says people's ignorance are putting the lives of the public and health of staff at risk.
Among the 27 hospital staff who were tested positive with COVID-19, 3 are at the isolation center, 3 have been cleared to resume duties, while 21 are still being self-isolated. Western Highlands Province has so far recorded 214 positive cases and 6 COVID-19 related deaths. The combination of the shortage of health staff due to contracting COVID-19 and the financial constraints has resulted in the closure of the adult and children's outpatient. While HIV and TB clinics are still open, the hospital is seeing emergency cases only. Patients at each ward have been discharged, while those with serious illnesses remain. WHPHA Acting CEO Jane Holden told MTV News that until funding is made available, services will resume. Meanwhile, Western Highlands Acting Provincial Administrator Stanley Mipe said the provincial government can only counterfund the PHA as the PHA's funding comes direct from NDOH.
Our budget at times a million, and then 1.5, 1 million, 1.5 and all that, just to complement what is being funded by the national government. So they come directly under the National Department of Health, so we wouldn't be able to rescuing the financial package.
The acting PA, who's also the Provincial COVID-19 Task Force Committee Chairman, said the committee is in the process of creating pamphlets and materials to do awareness at the community level. Mipe says people are still being ignorant by not following the new normal and the preventative measures. He also said it is difficult to control the movement of people, and such awarenesses will instill some behavioral changes to the public.
In order for them to have some manageable strategies in place so that the spread of this COVID-19 would be taken care of at the village level or at the community level.
Meanwhile, those who have been tested positive with mild to moderate symptoms of COVID-19 have been sent home to self-isolate. The hospital staff are urging them to follow simple instructions until they recover. Vasunatha Yama, National EMTV News, Mount Hagen.
A remote village in the Yalibu Pangia district of Southern Highlands has been neglected from basic government services for a long time. Locals in Siwi Utame travel on foot for 5 hours to reach places where they can have access to transportation. The people are in dire need for health services, education, and a good road linking them to the closest town. Teachers often refuse their posting to teach in the area because of the lack of basic services. The District Development Authority of Yalibu Pangia has made promises in 2012 and 2017 to build the Siwi Utame Loop Road, but nothing has as yet. Meanwhile, the people are waiting for the DDA to fulfill its promise this year. KTSU, or Kubalia Tertiary Students Union of Divine Word University, has appointed its new institutional executive in preparation for this year's KTSU Educational Awareness Program. The outgoing union executive and members of Divine Word University had relinquished the leadership roles and responsibilities to new student leaders who will then lead the Medeng-based KTSU. KTSU is made up of all the tertiary students from tertiary institutions throughout PNG. In holidays, the students carry out educational awareness programs for 1 week, covering all the schools within Kubalia area of Yangoru South Sia district in East Sepik. The awareness program started in 2018. This year's awareness will be the 4th. Morobe's NHC acting manager Matthew Limu told the media that lay tenants owe National Housing Corporation 11 million kina in outstanding rentals. Limu said most of the tenants haven't been paying their rentals, however, they're still occupying the properties. Meanwhile, the provincial NHC office doesn't have records of tenants occupying the NHC properties in Ley.
Morobe's acting provincial manager for National Housing Corporation, Matthew Limu, told the media last week that Ley's tenants owe NHC 11 million kina in outstanding rentals. Limu said most of the tenants have been living in the properties for over 30 years and are not paying their rentals. This follows his response to an eviction carried out by NHC to 4 tenants at Ley's Common Street along Kasweri Road.
Most of our properties are consisted, but 99% of the properties are chronic defaulting tenants, should I say. They are defaulting tenants. They've been living there for about 30 to 40 years without making any payments. So National Housing Corporation only finds its way out by enforcing the agreement. So we have substantial amount of money all the tenants owe within Ley.
On Tuesday last week, 4 families of 2 NHC properties here at Ley's Common Street were evicted by the National Housing Corporation.
The Cameron Street issue stemmed over the outstanding areas that they had. They had substantial amount of money that they owe.
However, one of the tenants, Paul Nongo, said he has been paying his rental since occupancy in 2016. Nongo said he's yet to receive his receipt of 8,000 kina paid as advance rental payment to NHC.
The 9,000 kina, there's no receipts issued. Even if me ask him all no give me receipts for that.
What was the response exactly?
The initial time, first time he gave this 9,000 kina, 8,000 kina, although Mary Blong, this office, I mean no staff.
Limu denied that and asked Nongo to write a letter to him concerning the payment he made in 2016. Meanwhile, NHC Momasa Regional Manager Andrew Agui called on Ley's tenants to pay their rentals consistently to avoid eviction notices.
NHC rentals are the cheapest in town. It's not much. The high-cost properties, high-covenant properties are going for 200 kina a fortnight, 400 a month. And that's a drop in the ocean. They must feel for us, NHC as well. We're only doing our job. They sign an agreement to pay rent when it's due. They must oblige by paying. What I'm intending to do now is I'm trying to put a paper together to review our tenancy agreement so that we have a rent review period. So that we cut down on these issues of non-payment, rental arrears, so that when it comes to the time of rent review time, we can check whether the tenant is a rent-paying tenant or a faithful tenant. There and then people will cut down on these arrears because now the tenancy agreements that they're signing in perpetuity. They just pay 1 or 2 fortnights and then they stop paying. And now we're coming to such situations like now, running after them again. But all in all, when we serve arrears notice, it's not for eviction, it's a notice to show cause. But they must respond, come and say, sorry, due to this and that, I was not able to pay. And we can always find a way forward in every situation, you know. We're not here to evict people. They're fellow Papua New Guineans, but the onus is on them. We have a duty to do to collect rentals to sustain our operations, and they have a duty to us to pay their rentals faithfully.
Julie Badui, Owa, National MTV News, Leh.
A long-time resident of Tokarara in NCD, Christine Tanoi, is fighting to reclaim a land title which she claims was previously held under her late husband's name. She has raised concerns after finding out recently that the land title is now under someone else's name, which she claims was allegedly done through corrupt dealings. Mrs. Tanoi is appealing to those involved to sit with her and her children to negotiate through a roundtable discussion instead of doing things behind closed doors. Christine Tanoi says since her husband passed away in 2013, she has been frequenting the Lands Department office and other relevant offices or authorities to have the land title sorted out, but it has turned out to be a lengthy and tedious process.
Get on to, one block overnight walk. Like now you look him, now you can do him. Sambla mi play kissing around all right, but he got all man to stop. Also got a strompla head blow law. Kissimo something law, run road, lo trupla road, also come out to crab come lo window, na also kiss him. No sa come lo front door. Na mi play to client stop lo front, also come lo back door. Deal, also making also kiss him. So this how get around now. Me get big la heavy through law. Me I think almost 20 years. Me go come lo lens.
Speaking to MTV News today, Mrs. Tanoi says the land in dispute is portion 2596, section 40 at Tokarara, not far from the new Tango supermarket. She claims upon her husband's passing, and as per her husband's declared will, she was given the power of attorney or next of kin to be the principal landlord. But Mrs. Tanoi says the land title was illegally stripped from her and her family, allegedly through corrupt dealings.
Full file, ogata about Papa Vinkis ground longen, ogata something, and stop. I think I'm one pla cry blow me too, this la now me come up lo, MTV News. Me like talk lo this la. Me got to pikinini, popla, one day sa Papa Koroka. Now me got bubu to stop, na this a ground. Supposed to be all money looking mosem, all na bungi me, na talk lo me to, ground mosem, me like kissing mosem, all na approaching me, but then only use him all man me can talk mosem, still man to still man, or little mosem.
Mrs. Tanoi says she and her family have used about 200,000 kina so far in expenses to go through the process of reclaiming the land title. She is appealing to those involved to meet with her and her children to sort things out. And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the kina opened unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market this morning. At Bank South Pacific, your kina will buy $0.2775 $0.3589 Australian dollars, $0.3923 New Zealand dollars, and 29.51 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee and cocoa closed lower, and copra closed higher. Palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower, and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. Trukai Sports is next. All the details after the break. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The first win for the SPPNG Hunters has come via an 8-try victory over the Ipswich Jets. The high-scoring affair was highlighted by a hat-trick scored by Hunters winger Brendan Gutuno, whose superb finishing capped off an outstanding attacking display by the Hunters. The Hunters saw off the Jets 44-22.
Up in the PNG Hunters at their new home, Bycroft Oval on the Gold Coast, up against
the SP PNG Hunters recorded their first win of the season with a thumping victory over the Ipswich Jets, 44 points to 22. The win included 3 tries to winger Brennan Gutuno, as the Hunters overcame a first-half deficit to win the second-round match at Bycroft Oval on the Gold Coast.
Try for PNG.
The Jets struck first when hooker Kieran Mosley scored in the 7th minute. When halfback Julian Christensen crossed over in the 20th minute, the Jets sped to a 12-6 lead. Fullback Terry Wapi opened the Hunters' account with the team's first try after 15 minutes. Prop Apple Capenius scored a try in both halves, with the first one coming in the 23rd minute, as the Hunters forwards made inroads through the middle of the pitch. Centre Jakodi Bire rounded off the Hunters' tries in the first half to bring the scoreline 18 points to 16 in favour of the Jets at half-time. Sylvester Namo and Emmanuel Wane also featured for the Hunters, providing valuable minutes off the interchange bench. The game moved out of the Jets' reach when the Hunters scored 3 tries in 9 minutes. 2 to Gatuno on the end of some slick ball movement before Edwin Ipape scored in the 62nd minute.
The Hunters had yet another try, this time through Edwin Ipape.
Brennan Gatuno put the icing on the cake with the final try of the match. The Hunters coming out eventual winners, 44 points to 22. Axilovai, Chukai Sports.
The weather report for the next 24 hours after these messages. Stay tuned.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Moniplus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the afternoon and tonight. In the southern region, Port Moresby, few afternoon showers with possible thunderstorms. Daru, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. Kerama, cloudy periods with brief afternoon showers. Alotau, a few showers. Hopundetta, cloudy with some showers. To the Momase region, Wewak and Vanimo, cloudy periods with a few showers. Medeng, few afternoon showers. Ley, cloudy with few afternoon showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorenga, cloudy periods with few afternoon showers. Kavieng, mostly fine. Kokopo and Rabaul, few afternoon showers. Kimbe, cloudy with few showers. Buka, cloudy with some afternoon showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, cloudy with some showers. Goroka and Kundiawa, cloudy with a few showers. Mendi and Wabeg, showers with possible thunderstorms. Renewal of strong wind warnings for all the coastal waters of southern PNG-Indonesian border through Torres Strait to Daru to Hood Point and the Coral Sea. Moderate to strong east to southeast winds of 20 to 30 knots are in force and will continue for the next 12 to 24 hours. All small crafts and boats are advised to take necessary precautions before going out to sea, especially over the warning areas. Forecasts for small crafts for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG-Indonesian border through Torres Strait to Daru to Kiwai Islands to Kerama to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Islands and to Cape Vogel and eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, seas 1 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through VTS Dampier Straits to Siasi Long Islands with waters north of Long Island to Medeng to Wewak to Aitape to Vanimo and northern PNG-Indonesian border, and with waters of New Ireland to New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands seas 0.5 to 1 meter. Waters of Samarai to Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finschhafen seas 0.3 to 1.3 meters. Ocean forecasts for PNG areas. In the coral seas, seas fresh to rough with east to southeast winds of 20 to 30 knots. In the Solomon Seas, seas slight with east to northeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. In the Bismarck Seas, seas slight with east to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. And in the Pacific Ocean, seas slight to moderate with easterly winds of 10 to 15 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 29th of March 2021. Pleasant viewing, be safe, bye for now.